Welcome back and welcome to our latest segment of Crown TV Courts. Today, we're diving deep into the world of RICO, both federal and state-specific, focusing on Georgia. Given the buzz around Young Thug and the YSL gang RICO case, we're going to take a closer look at the case and discuss what his defense team needs to do to be successful in what already appears to be an uphill battle. Over a year has passed since Jeffrey Williams, famously known as rapper Young Thug, was taken into custody at his Atlanta residence on May 9, 2022. Upon his arrest, the Fulton County District Attorney presented a 56-count indictment against Williams and 27 others, alleging their participation in crimes linked to the Young Slime Life Street Gang. Since then, the indictment has been updated to include 65 counts, 8 of which apply to Williams. Initially, he faced charges of conspiracy under the state's Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act and involvement in criminal street activities. The lifestyle rapper was subsequently charged with an added count of engaging in street gang activities, 3 counts under the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of a firearm during a felony, and possession of a machine gun. A rising belief suggests that the lengthy jury selection process and media bias are obstructing Young Thug's entitlement to due process. As we await further updates, let's delve into the challenges Young Thug currently faces, the evidence prosecutors need to secure a guilty verdict under Georgia RICO, and the strategies Young Thug and his legal team must employ to prevail. RICO is a law that exists both at the national or federal level and in Georgia's state law. Georgia's version of the law has a wider definition of racketeering than the national law. This implies that more activities or behaviors might qualify as racketeering under Georgia's state law than under the federal statute. Also, it's easier to prove racketeering in Georgia than at the federal level. The biggest difference is that in Georgia, you don't always need to show there was a group or organization involved to say racketeering occurred. The fact that Georgia does not always require the existence of such an enterprise indicates a significant divergence from the federal law. If someone is convicted under the Georgia RICO Act, they could receive a fine or face a prison sentence ranging from 5 to 20 years. RICO's main goal is to target the structure and organization of criminal enterprises. Individual crimes are used as predicate acts to establish a pattern of racketeering activity. Once this pattern is established, the focus is on penalizing the overarching corrupt organization or behavior rather than each individual crime. What this means for Young Thug is that even though the indictment in this case ties him to crimes such as murder, these accusations are only being used as a tool to secure the RICO conviction, which still carries a maximum of 20 years. Whether or not the prosecution can convince a jury that the rapper is guilty of a pattern of racketeering activity, beyond a reasonable doubt, will be the deciding factor in whether or not they are successful. Prosecutors in the case will need to accomplish 4 objectives. 1. Show evidence of multiple related crimes. 2. Prove that these crimes are related to an actual conspiracy, not just isolated events. 3. Connect the actions to the organized group, or YSL. 4. Demonstrate that Young Thug knew of and intended for the crimes to be committed. This approach demands a systematic and evidence-focused strategy. We anticipate hearing from an extensive list of witnesses, but likely a lot less than the initially claimed 300 by prosecutors. Understanding what prosecutors must prove at trial simplifies the identification of defense strategies. The defense will likely argue a lack of knowledge that the crimes were being committed, and, where evidence exists, they'll aim to convince the jury that these were isolated incidents, therefore not constituting a pattern. It's worth mentioning that we've only observed the prosecution's perspective on what they think is provable. It remains to be seen what concrete evidence they possess, if any, to persuade a jury of the validity of a racketeering charge. Now, Young Thug does have other problems. As we've previously noted, he's facing 2 counts of participating in gang activity, with potential penalties ranging from a $10,000 fine to 20 years in prison for each count. Additionally, there's the possession of a machine gun charge, which can result in a fine from $10,000 up to 10 years in prison. Lastly, he's been charged with 3 counts under the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. The severity of the penalties for these charges will hinge on the specific drugs and the quantities he's alleged to have possessed. Young Thug's team will have to challenge each of these charges on their own merit. The defense for the possession charges might revolve around the circumstances of the May 9, 2022 arrest warrant that initiated the search of his home. The defenses for the gang activity charges will probably align closely with the strategies used to contest the RICO charges. Young Thug is indeed bracing for a prolonged legal battle. At the latest estimation, the trial itself is projected to span between 6 to 9 months. Currently, challenges in selecting an impartial jury have already delayed the commencement of the trial for over 9 months. This has been a comprehensive look into the upcoming Young Thug YSL RICO trial. This case is set to be a significant event in the music industry, and we'll be closely following every twist and turn. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all the latest developments. We want to know what you think. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below, and we'll catch you in the next video. Stay informed and stay safe.